In this video, we're going to talk about the conductor icon as well as working with tempos. So the conductor icon is in your transport, command numeric 1. And when you have this icon turned on and off, you'll see several things change in your tempos. So I'm going to leave this off right now, and we're going to add our tempo ruler view by clicking on this icon. This gives us a little bit more view of what's happening on our tempo changes throughout the session. Notice that right now it says manual tempo of 125. If I click on this plus symbol, I can't add a tempo change. Or if I use the control key to click here, I can't add a tempo change. Remember that I could hit the control and click here to add a meter change, but nothing can happen in here. I can only change my tempo at this particular location. So in order to have tempo changes enabled, you do have to turn the conductor icon. And now you can see that I can even draw tempo changes in. I can even go in and control click and add a tempo change. So that's the main differences between having the conductor icon on versus off. Now let's talk about inserting tempos a little bit more in detail. If you go into your events menu, you can go into what's called tempo operations and choose tempo operations window, which is option numeric 2. And this allows you to pull up all these different types of curves. So let's go and highlight an area. I'm going to go and highlight this area and say I want to have a constant change that starts from here to here, or a linear change, let's say from 155 or 125 to 155. And I can even preserve the tempo after the selection. So you can see it went right back to the 124. I can go in and do a parabolic. So let's do 125 to 155 again. And let's set my parabolic curve to be here. So you can see there's a slight curve. Now, what I want to show you too is that when you're taking the pencil tool and drawing in tempo changes, you can do a free style of change. You can also do a linear or a line that's very straight. Now notice that my particular tempos are inserted by a set of density. So if I set this to be at 8th note, I draw this in, you can see it only draws it in on the 8th values. If I draw it in at the quarter, you can see it only on the quarter values. So this is pretty interesting. If you need really high density, you may want to drop it down to 50 milliseconds, and you can see that you get a lot finer resolution for your tempo changes over time. Now, what's more important here is that tempo changes are not necessarily always being inserted when you're tracking. You usually want to insert your tempo changes after you've done your tracking and recording. So if you're doing a live show, obviously you need to go in and add your tempo changes later on in order to have the grid line up. This is really important because you need to make sure your grid is actually following your beats in your audio so that you can do all your standard edit modes, all your tools that we're going to discuss about later on. This gives you much more efficiency in just navigating the session and getting everything done completely in time and on the beat the way you want. So for example, you could copy, cut, paste bars and be precise instead of having to do it in slip mode and be kind of close but not get right there. So tempo changes are crucial in order for everything to line up and match when you're working with editing.